All right, folks, day 24. We've been talking about a lot of stuff, and we're getting close to the end, so hopefully you're following along. You're playing the home game. A little bit better this morning, 20 minutes this morning, 1.75. What I did was I ran for 15 and then walked for 5. And as I was running, I was thinking about things that we've talked about and things that you can look at as contributing factors to not being able to really perform the way that you feel like you should be able to. You know, you're putting in this time, you're increasing your endurance, your strength, you're trying to fuel right, you know, you're trying to get your rest, you're trying to put things on your schedule in the right way so that you're prioritizing, you know, stuff, and you're not letting it go until the end of the day like I did yesterday. But there's one thing that we haven't talked about. It's actually really important, and it's actually something that I'm finding is the case with me right now that I really need to work on as we get towards the end of the year, and that's hydration. For me, I drink coffee in the mornings, at least 2 cups usually before I get on the treadmill. So I don't do like a pre-workout or anything like that. That's my pre-workout basically. It just wakes me up. It makes me sane. It makes me coherent. It makes sure that I don't fall off the back of the treadmill. But then after that, I'll come in, and I usually don't drink any water after that because I'm only doing half an hour tops. It's not, crazy amount of treadmill. And what I find is I have to like plug right back into the routine and get the rest of the stuff done. I got to grab a shower real quick. I got to get my work stuff together so I can get out of the house, so I can get to work, so I can start, doing all the stuff that I need to do there. And it's so easy to forget to hydrate during the day that I find at the end of the day, I'm actually binge eating a little bit more than I otherwise would. I say binge eating. That's not the case, but I'm overeating. Let's call it that. Overeating more than I should because I'm actually thirsty, not hungry. Your body does a really interesting thing. When you're thirsty, sometimes your body will trigger a hunger response, and you'll think, God, I'm hungry. I could use something to eat. But really, it's your body saying that it's thirsty, that it's dehydrated, that it needs water. So here's a trick. If you feel like it's not an appropriate time necessarily to eat, you feel like you should be fueled based on what you've eaten during the day or the last time you ate or whatever, then you get that hunger response. Drink a glass of water. Drink like 8 to 12 to 16 ounces of water. 16 is good, 8 minimum. Drink that water and wait like 20 minutes and then see if you're still hungry. And if you're still hungry, then maybe it was legitimate and you actually need to have something to eat. But, we way overfuel and we way underhydrate for the most part, and that really manifests itself with fatigue, with significant issues on the exercise side of things, with being able to really move forward, and continue to improve what it is we're doing, whatever it is we're doing. You need hydration. That's important. And this morning, I'm finding that it's the case for me because I got this dry mouth thing going on, and it could be because I've had a couple cups of coffee. I haven't had any water or anything like that. I also use the CPAP, and it does have a hydration, tank on it or whatever. So it's supposed to hydrate as I sleep, but sometimes I wake up and I definitely have the dry mouth thing happening. So for me, I was on the treadmill just now and I was really noticing like, wow, I'm kind of dragging ass and I'm not really having a good time with this, and not as bad as it was last night, but still significant enough that I kind of did an inventory of how I should feel and what might be a contributing factor to that. And obviously, for me, hydration was the first thing that came to mind. So make sure you hydrate. Make sure that you carry a bottle of water around with you. And bottled water is expensive, man. If you go out and you're out and about and you need to grab a water or something, you can always do that. There's water everywhere. We're very fortunate that we live in a place where we can get water whenever we want it. But here's the thing, we don't have to pay for that water necessarily. There are plenty of places where if you're carrying around a bottle, you've got a hydro flask or something, or even just like a bottle of water that you've already used the bottle, just reuse the bottle. Plastic bottle, it's plastic, it's not going to leak. If it's fairly clean, if it's in good shape, and try to get more than one use out of that bottle, because we put so much plastic into the environment. It's crazy. But carry that water bottle around. Sip during the day, whenever you feel like you need to deal with a hunger issue, assess and drink some water and see if that makes a difference. But make sure that you're doing that, particularly this time of year when you've got that heat going and it's dry in the house. If you don't have a humidifier, if you're going to places where you're cold, hot, that really wreaks havoc on your system. So hydrating is going to really help out in that regard as well. So stay hydrated, keep exercising, keep doing what you're doing, and happy day 24.